I would like for the attorney to resume his cross-examination. Of course. How incredibly frightening. That's stressful, what the shit? So, statement... okay. Yes, he was indeed stabbed in the gut. I ended up screaming in shock. I like how his hat keeps falling. Oh my god. You said that you saw the knife. You were looking down from the roof seats, correct? Yes, exactly. I was seated on one of the roof seats. I recall that the man with the small frame and the victim were sitting beside each other. I was thinking of new hat designs as I gazed at the city buildings, you see. And then my eyes just happened to look inside the coach from beyond the skylight. And I saw the gleam of the knife as it went inside the victim. What a terrifying sight. Oh no. Oh shit, the jurors are talking amongst themselves. Bloody hell, look at her go! Looks like the jurors' doubts have been spurred on. Everyone seems to be remarkably suspicious of the defendant. We need to find something to refute that suspicion, otherwise... Witness? Yes? The knife you saw. I presume it is none other than this. Ah yes, it is precisely that. Could that be? Quite so. This is the same knife that was stabbed into the victim's stomach. It is a rather large knife. The sheath of this weapon is engraved with an initial. Oh god. M. It is an initial I have seen elsewhere. Yes, because he's the only person with M in his name. Come on. Huh? Don't tell me. M. Just like in Magundal, suffice to say, ah yes. Are you kidding? This self-proclaimed London celebrity would appear to be an utter fool. Yeah, I object. Ah. But this M could belong to countless other individuals. Like, for example, that's right, the victim's name was Mortar. Ooh. This is far too valuable for a bricklayer in poverty to own. The most likely scenario is that the knife belongs to the defendant. Great. Yes, that appears to be quite the inescapable reality. Knife. Large knife that was stabbed through the victim's chest. Very ornamental and beautiful. Looks expensive. Fantastic. Oh shit. Oh no. My lord, please excuse my rudeness. She's come to her conclusion. I'm boned. Ah, Christ. Ah, Juror 2, what is the matter? As a servant to the gentleman of the Great British Empire, I'd like to believe he's innocent. Yes! Oh. However, as a servant, I have a responsibility to accept harsh realities. Wait just a moment, please. We have to dispose of this filth now. No! That's so cool. Everything about this game is just cool. No. That's 3. Half of them are done. I must apologise, but I love cleanliness after all. Oh fuck, not again! I've recorded the entire conversation thus far, and I have given it a logical appraisal. At this very moment, I have reached my ultimate conclusion. Guilty. Son of a bitch! No! Not again. 4 people have already chosen guilty. Only 2 more and then... What in the world should I do? The more I try to fish out from the witnesses, the more the scale slants against my favour. However, as we know nothing about this incident, information is what we need above all else. Then all we can do is watch as that fire burns away our time left until the guilty verdict. A chance to retaliate will arrive eventually, we must believe in that. But... Alright. At any rate, that's all I can do for now. I can't give up here. Bloody hell. Ugh. I just need to calm down and listen to the testimony once more. Whew! Jesus. Astonished by that scream, I stopped the horses, I saw it too! That sounds weird. Alright. Pardon, but what exactly did you see? Yes, the passenger was, well, collapsed on the couch's floor. But he wasn't. Needless to say, that passenger would be the victim, the bricklayer. He wasn't on the floor though. He was passed out in the chair with a knife in his gut. And then the other passenger took that knife into his hand like this. Needless to say, that passenger would be the defendant, Cosney McGundle. Then, with that knife, I saw him stab into the collapsed passenger, like this. He did what? Oh shit, no! Ah, fuck. Yo-ho, my lord. My Juror 5, might you too be? I serve as the governing boss of the London Coachmen's Guild. So I'm able to say that committing murder in a coach is the most unforgivable deed there is. I have to make an appropriate judgment, so I plan to continue to observe the trial, but... Guilty. I've heard more than enough. No one can stop a horse at full gallop. Oh! No. Run, Silverblaze, leap over that pub. Oh no, that's guilty. Son of a fuck. Oh, I can't catch a break. As the boss of the Coachman's Guild, I choose to believe in Beppo's words. Oh, boss. This is fantastic. Boss. With this, the number of guilty verdicts from the jurors stands at 5. Fuck all of you. God, douchebags. Madame, would you spare me a moment? Yes, dearie? What is it? I presume you have taken ear to the testimonies of our witnesses so far, yes? Yes, loud and clear. Why then, madame? Have you not announced a verdict? You see, around this time of the day, I would always be in the nearby park, knitting away. It's a daily routine. Such a small and adorable park. It's called McGundle Park. It was donated to London to bring smiles to everyone's faces. Such a nice man would never stab someone. There we go. She's right. Mr. McGundle has always been contributing to the good of London. Right, it's downright odd for such a man to stab someone. Let's go back to the McGundle Library and read some more picture books. It would appear that much of London is still blissfully ignorant. Ignorant, that is, of Cosney McGundle's true nature. What do you mean by that? Cosney McGundle, philanthropist. A celebrity with enough wealth to purchase the entirety of London. It begs the question, just how did he obtain all of that wealth? To wit, he is a salary lender, a rather unsavoury one, even among that disreputable profession. A what? What? Oh god, her face. Handing out loans to the weak with outrageous interest rates, then carting off all they own. The foundation of Cosney McGundle's wealth is built upon none other than these acts of... is it usury? Or usury? My, I had no idea. Madame, if you would hear me out. I'm sure you have held at least some form of suspicion. A man with enough wealth to purchase London would without a doubt own a personal coach. Oh dear. That's a good point. If that is the case, then why should he go out of his way to ride an omnibus? What? You don't mean... The victim was a bricklayer in poverty, and he had incurred a large amount of debt. Needless to say, the lender was the defendant, Cosney McGundle. Furthermore, the incident took place on the night of the loan's repayment date. Really? A poor bricklayer deprived of his own home. He had not even a single shilling to pay with. And then, the pitiable bricklayer was finally deprived even of his own life. Done in by none other than the heartless and cruel philanthropist, Kojima Gundle. It can't be. Ooh, Susato. Might I interject for a moment? Susato? You claim that the victim owed debt to Mr. McGundle. Do you have any evidence to prove that? Oh! Is this the desk slam I was on about? Maybe? Perhaps? Please forgive my impudence in my partaking of the Holy Grail within these halls of justice. There it is! Lord Van Zeek's Holy Grail. There it is! Is this really something you should just let slide? This is an unexpectedly pleasant experience. I'd heard that Oriental women were quite bold, but I did not think it quite to this extent. What? The actions I have taken are to be expected of any legal assistant. Regrettably, however, it seems that this boldness was nothing but recklessness. This is the self-styled customer ledger of the loans which the defendant gave out. And from what I can see, the victim's name is clearly written here. That is... I submit to the court this ledger as evidence, along with... A plea to forgive my impudence in toasting to the mysteries of the Orient. What the fuck? In accompaniment to that wonderful toast, I shall accept the evidence. Customer ledger, list of customers who owe money to the defendant, a salary lender. The victim himself borrowed 20 guineas. $20 guineas. Yes, this is indeed quite the large loan the victim has taken. And to satisfy the repayment, McGundle took away everything he had. Don't do it. I guess. He had me fooled all along. It is regrettable to say this, but that's just the kind of man he is. It was such a beautiful park too. What a horrible man. Oh, bollocks. But... maybe this is for the best. Please wait, reconsider this a bit more. I will show no more mercy. Ah, bollocks. Well. The final verdict has just been passed. According to the Great British Empire's Code of Law, should all the jurors return a guilty verdict, the trial will be suspended, the sentence will be passed down by the presiding judge. Also, it's written. Sentence? In this case, the death penalty. Oh. There's something new? It seems there is yet more. What else? However, the defense... Oh! The jurors have reached a unanimous vote. Booker. You have my sincerest respect for your prompt and just verdict, good jurors. As the Great British Empire's Code of Law dictates, the trial shall end now. We shall immediately move on to the verdict. I trust there aren't any objections. Object. Susato, please tell me just one last thing. Of course. Just now you were about to say something. It's about the Great British Empire's Code of Law. However, the defense... What comes after that? Oh. Oh yes. Please, wait a moment. Should all the jurors' verdicts point to guilty, the trial will be suspended, the verdict will then be passed down by the presiding judge. However, the defense... has the right to present a closing argument to the 6 jurors. Oh god. Closing argument? Did I hear you say closing argument? That book of law you hold, tell me. In exactly which era was it written? Judging from that binding, its origin easily dates back to over 50 years ago. Such a concept is no longer recorded within the current code of law. An obsolete legal process long since culled from our practice of law. The closing argument is now nothing more than a curiosity of our long history. No. Ooh. Sasato, what exactly is it to begin with? This closing argument, we're just gonna go with it anyway. What would I be arguing for and how? Yes, please wait a moment, I shall inspect it in detail now. Asserting a right without even understanding its meaning. How very Japanese of you. I see now, Naruhodo. It seems we are allowed to persuade the jurors. Persuading them. Even though the jurors have already chosen verdicts. Yes, and if they change their verdicts as a result, they can't change back. Oh, the trial must continue. It says so right here. Changing their verdicts. This could be our very last hope. It is recorded that lawyers of the past did indeed assert this right to persuade the jurors. However, somewhere along the line, it became nothing more than a formality and vanished. Why might that be, my lord? Because it was meaningless. Once passed down, a verdict cannot be overturned. In recent years, not a single attorney has asserted that sort of right. However, there is no mention whatsoever of the abolishment of such a system either. What? Do it! In other words, even if it has been forgotten, it has still not died. What will you do, Naruhodo? The only thing I can do, obviously. This closing argument is the only remaining opportunity we have. Insist! Duh! God, give up. My arse. Ooh yeah, nice slap. The defense asserts the right to a closing argument. Don't you dare object. The capital of the Great British Empire, London, is said to be the heart of the modern world. Hence, this courthouse is expected to hold both the shortest and most well-executed trials. Closing arguments are the most wretched vice to be born of our country's legal system. But a right is a right. As long as it remains law, you cannot deny me that right. The court shall accept the defence's request. Yes! And it shall now move on to the closing argument. What utter foolishness. Are you ready, jurors? What? Oh, I wonder. This wasn't written in the juror's handbook I was given after all. I would now like you all to state the basis behind your verdict. Basis? Wait, so I'm guessing I'm guessing we can choose who we want to persuade, and you go for the people that have the weakest basis, I guess. Why is the defendant guilty? State the reason for your judgment. I just think he is. This is so sudden. I have not heard of such a thing. Oh god, they all don't know. I ain't cut out for that. Sheesh. Of course. The jurors are getting flustered. Huh. It would seem that the jurors have never experienced this before. Ah. A closing argument. A defense no one has attempted before. This just might be the chance we desperately need. Now then, the court orders you 6 jurors. State your basis and reasoning behind your guilty verdict. Oh shit! It's like a... Oh wow. Jesus Christ, this game's blowing me away. It's so good. So, judicial something. So the jury's assertions. Oh god, this is very cool. There was no one else inside the coach, so it could have only been him. 4 passengers, an earning of 20 pence. The driver's memory is trustworthy. That's the oddest. That's odd. Okay. That guy stabbed the guy sitting next to him like this. Not even I would do that. I simply came to a logical conclusion based on every statement spoken thus far. The fellows in the Coachman's Guild are honest. Our fee is always 4 pence. Thought it was 20. I can't believe he stabbed a man who was already on the floor. He didn't. Unless they're considering sat down on the floor. All 6 members of the jury voting guilty really does put me in a difficult position. There do seem to be a few vague statements in their reasoning, at least. There's the maid, the enthusiastic knife guy, and then the old lady and the coachman. In any case, I'll give it a shot. All I need to do is persuade them, right? I'll do it. I'll strike with all the passion I have and turn the tables on this trial. Excuse me, but... wait just a moment, if you will. Tutorial time. Maybe. According to this book, what we must do is a little different. Huh? What do you mean? Isn't melting their cold, icy hearts with my warm, passionate words all I need to? I hate to say this, but... once the jurors' minds are set, they will not lend an ear to the attorney's words. They won't? No man enjoys having his decisions wantonly criticised, after all. The more an attorney attempts to persuade them, the greater the backfire. But that's completely ridiculous. The British law dictates as such, not I. What on earth do we do? According to what I have found out, the key to persuading them lies in the jurors' own words. All jurors are chosen randomly from the citizens and called forth. That is why, even though they appear to be unified in opinion, they are in fact total strangers seated together. So you're saying that that's their weak spot? Exactly. Let's listen to their statements one by one. And should there be any 2 statements that contradict each other... oh, there is! So you point out 2 contradictions. Okay, I see how this works. I did wonder how you'd persuade them. It's going to be the maid and the... what's-his-face? Oh, I know who it is, God! It's the maid and the guild owner, because he said it's 4 pence, she said it's 20 pence. And then it's the guy, the stabby guy, and then the old lady. Because she said he stabbed him on the floor, and he said he stabbed him while he was right next to him. Ha! Oh, this is interesting. Should there be any 2 statements that contradict each other, we have to show that those statements clash. The jurors' contradicting statements. And now that I think about it, that's not much different from a usual cross-examination. Yes, you are right. Oh, you are very right. Alright. I need to show how their contradictory statements clash against each other. I just might be able to do it. No, that's not quite right. I will do it. Oh dear. I have to do it. I like how he just slaps himself. Now then, defence. We shall commence the closing argument. Move to the witness stand to present your argument clearly and precisely. Yes, my lord. Damn. Woo! My closing arguments. The defence's rebuttal. Nope, it's not you. There we go. 4 passengers and earning of 20 pence. The driver's memory is trustworthy. And then, yeah, so clash. Oh, here we go. Oh my god, this is so cool! Oh, right, so it tells me. That's really... okay. And there it is. Our fee is always 4 pence. Haha! There is a clear contradiction within those 2 statements. A contradiction? Pray tell, what is it? Me? A contradiction? What on earth are you talking about? On the name of the Silver Blaze, I swear I know nothing. It's true that according to the testimony so far, on the night of the incident, the crime scene had 4 passengers. Furthermore, according to the driver himself, his earnings were 20 pence. Correct. Such it is written in my flawless record, and it said logic. On the other hand, Juror 5 said the following: the omnibus's fare is always 4 pence. That's right. Cheap and convenient. One should expect nothing less from a cab. Yet, if that's the case, a rather unnatural contradiction is born. Well, what is it? Unless that means there were 5 passengers. Yeah. Okay, so there is a passenger missing. How much would the earnings be then? 16. Oh my. That's 16 pence. There was a 5th passenger. Right, the sums don't match up. 4 pence is left over. That's just enough for a single passenger. A single passenger. Therefore, during that night on the omnibus, it was possible that there was one more passenger on board. What in blazes? Oh my god. Could something like that really? Drivers of the Guild are honest men. Trust in the coach is first and foremost. 4 passengers and a mismatched sum. Rather unreliable, isn't it? What was that? Guildmaster, if the trial were to end here, unfavourable rumours might spread through the streets of London. Perhaps that the omnibus's driver overlooked a suspicious passenger's escape. Then how do you suggest I continue this good-for-nothing trial? According to this book, you must send aloft the flame of innocence. Whoa, wait just a minute. All of our views have finally lined up, but now because of your... Oi, Beppo, show yourself. Oh, right, I see. So the chair turns black if they okay. How could this happen? Pardon me, but I must do the same. Yeah! What do you think you're doing? At the end of the day, humans are creatures who may laugh or weep over a single penny. A man with such vague memory on the subject is hardly credible. What did you say? I would like to listen to the words of the witnesses just a bit longer. We did it, Naruhodo. If we can get just 2 more to change their verdict, then we can continue the trial. Just 2 more. Come to think of it, there just so happens to be 2 more statements that contradict themselves. There was something else that, in what they said that bothered me. Then our next move should be to snipe at that. I need to reveal another clash between 2 claims, huh? Right. So let's do it. The vote has changed, but the scale remains tipped towards guilty. Continue defense. Resume your closing argument. I'm actually tempted to press. Oh, I have voted not guilty for now so that we may hear more from the more financially lax. No, I want to see what happens if I press him. Not just him specifically, I just mean in general. What happens if I press? Because when it comes to the closing arguments, I might just not bother pressing. Unless you need to. There was no one else inside the coach, so it could have only been him. I just hope this doesn't screw me, that's all. Let's see. We'll find out. Indeed, according to the testimony, only the defendant and the victim were in the coach. Yes, that's exactly what I mean to say. However, there could be other possibilities that we haven't thoroughly considered. Oh? Like what? A 5th passenger? Well, how about we all try to think about it, together? You came from a faraway country, so perhaps you do not understand. It's because we've reached the verdict that we no longer have any reason to think together. So it's true, they are quick to turn a deaf ear. I guess that's all I can do now. Or, that all I can do now is show how their arguments clash. Find the contradictions lurking within their statements. So, hang on. If I go back to... him... I can still clash. Oh. Okay, given the fact that I can